So, here in San Francisco, clear skies, cold temperatures, no fog, some rain in the forecast starting tomorrow. We'll see. It doesn't look like much of anything but a little bit of sprinkles. So, a little bit of good news. Biden has reversed the Trump Tongass National Forest deforestation rule. Trump, when he was in office, he took away the ban for road building and cutting old growth trees and developing the Tongass National Forest for economic reasons. I hate to tell you this, Trump and your Republicans. These areas, these wilderness areas, are called set-asides. They're not for economic development. They're to be left as is for the future of our people, so that people in the future can enjoy them and can camp in there and fish and that sort of thing. It's not for economic development. So Biden has reversed Trump's environmental disaster. It's been acted on since Trump put it in office. A lot of damage has been done to the Tongass already. Each time a Republican gets in office, they open up the Tongass National Forest for road building and forest development so that they can cut down the old growth trees and make a big bunch of money off of it. And this has been going on and off and on and off for quite some time now. And now the ban is back on. But for how long? If Trump gets back in, he'll take the ban back off. If DeSantis gets in, he'll take the ban back off, and they'll start developing the Tongass again. And this is a real disaster, constantly going back and forth, back and forth. The forest is really taking quite a beating with the Republicans constantly opening up the Tongass National Forest. Let's go up here and do a little video. So we have a new study, yet another new study on global warming, warns the world could hit 2 degrees C within decades, even with emissions cuts that are planned. The world will breach both limits before 2100. That's the 1.5 C and the 2 C, before 2100. Already the world has warmed by an average of 1.1 degrees C relative to pre-industrial levels. This is a high probability of hitting 1.5 C sometimes in 2030. There's also a high chance of hitting 2 C in the next few decades. The study says emissions must decline to net zero before 2080. That's quite a net zero. Now that's quite a cut. That means no emissions at all. It's important that we see what's happening and that we cut our own emissions as much as possible, because that's the only way you're going to do it, is each person cuts their plastic use, their driving, their cooking with gas or gas furnaces, anything that emits carbon dioxide and methane and other greenhouse gases must be cut, and have to be cut now, or else we're into a very unpleasant future. Very soon we will be suffering through starvation, looking for food because you can't grow anything because it's too hot. Storms are too vicious and too intense to grow crops in, and to build houses, and infrastructure will be washed away by tidal waves, huge storm surges, hurricanes, tornadoes, that sort of thing. We're already seeing it. We're seeing climate extremes from all over the place. Right now we're still able to cope with some of it, as long as you're not involved with where the climate is extreme at. We've had our extreme climate this winter here in California, and that's nothing. We can get a lot worse than what we did, and we already saw massive flooding here in San Francisco, which made it hard to find food for a while because it flooded out so many grocery stores. The grocery store that my family shops at also was flooded out, and we had trouble finding food. So we were impacted just like everyone else that goes through climate change. And there's this feeling inside of hopelessness of where are you going to get your food? Better start rationing what food you have, and make sure that next time when food's available, you get a little extra and put it aside. because that's going to be the norm from here on out. And everybody should know that. And I don't mean prepping type food. I mean just some extra beans, maybe a few canned goods, that sort of thing that can tie you over during the next disaster that comes our way. So this study that was put out was done by AI, and they say it's amazing how accurate it was compared to all the other studies. And it had no inputs from the other studies. It just had inputs from what is going on and real-time averages. So it's obvious that food shortages, housing shortages, and that are just going to continue to get worse and worse as the climate catastrophe continues. And it's up to us to who we put into office. The more we put right-wingers into office, the more catastrophe we're going to have. They're going to complain about alternative energy. They're going to want more fossil fuel development. They're going to be wanting to take away our pristine forests and wetlands for development so they can get rich. They're going to want to take away our social nets in society so that they can take it and put it in the stock market. It's real obvious which way we have to go. But yet there's so many people that get bamboozled and talked into voting for the right-wing nutballs, and we end up with such disastrous consequences because of it. With weed blowers down here, leaf blowers over there, and tractor and construction up here, it's a good time to quit before it gets too much more in the noise category. I definitely do appreciate any comments you guys have, the ups and the new subscribers. And until next time.